Tonight, amassing troops at the border.
There's 5 here with 2 children. All of them are from Mexico. There's a good chance that this group right here will quickly get processed and will be back in Mexico by the end of the day.
That is just a look at one of hundreds of apprehensions happening at the border daily, and they could grow even more with the pandemic-era law Title 42 set to end in just days. We'll have a report from the border. Plus,
so many of my friends, they're like, oh my God, so you're loaded now. They're like, you made it. I no longer had any money from the bear. I barely got money from in the first place.
They're now on strike. Livable wages and the threat of AI are just 2 issues at the center of what could be a months-long battle between screenwriters and major Hollywood studios. So how could your favorite shows and movies be impacted? We'll have a look in our prime focus of the night. And
I look at myself as an evangelist, spreading the word, the gospel, because this isn't an issue that it affects all Americans. This is colorblind, this is religion blind.
We follow hip-hop star Fat Joe as he uses his voice to raise awareness about healthcare in the nation's capital. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mona Kosar Abdi in for Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We are following those stories and much more, including the incredible video captured when the U.S. Coast Guard rescued 2 people and a dog from a sinking catamaran near the Georgia shores. Plus, the latest out of Texas as a massive manhunt continues for the suspect accused of killing at least 5 people, including a child, and why a suspect has now been arrested on the Buckingham Palace grounds just 4 days until the king's coronation. Our correspondents are fanned across the country covering those stories and more for us tonight. But we do begin with those major developments at the U.S.-Mexico border. President Biden has ordered 1,500 active duty troops to report to the southern border. This comes as the pandemic-era law the government has used to automatically expel undocumented migrants is set to expire next week. There are already 2,500 National Guard members deployed there. The Pentagon says the additional troops could arrive as soon as next week and be deployed for a 90-day period. To be clear, those troops will not have a law enforcement role, but provide administrative help, including with processing asylum claims, easing the burden for authorities already on the ground. Maria Villarreal recently went on an exclusive ride-along with Custom and Border Patrol as officials are worried about a surge of migrants in the coming days. What will happen if Title 42 is allowed to expire? Maria leads us off tonight in Texas with this in-depth report.
Desperation and frustration booming along the country's southern border. Attempts to find a way into the United States growing more brazen.
Y eso es lo que se requiere ahorita. Ahorita lo que se requiere más que todo el apoyo de los Estados Unidos, como con la prensa, los derechos humanos, que brinquen hacia ese lado y vean la realidad de lo que vivimos.
With Title 42 on the verge of dissolution. The Biden administration under fire for persistently high rates of migrant arrivals.
In just the 2 years of Secretary Mayorkas' reign at DHS, more people have come into this country than all of the 8 years of Barack Obama's presidency and all 4 years of the Trump presidency combined.
We've seen 1 sector out of 8 experience an increase. That's not a crisis. That just means I'm busy in 1 sector out of 8 on the northern border.
Fighting back in the field by implementing a series of new policies that could effectively change the landscape of our immigration system.
Near Alameda at 9108 is up reported.
Okay, now I know where we're going.
The Rio Grande Valley sector is consistently one of the busiest regions for Border Patrol agents. Covering more than 34,000 square miles of southeast Texas, it's arguably the most challenging area to secure. In March of 2020, the Trump administration approved using a health policy along the border to expel migrants to prevent the spread of COVID. 3 years later, despite the pandemic essentially being over, the Biden administration is still heavily relying on Title 42. With attempts to repeal the policy blocked in court, officials say they have no other option. On a recent embed with Border Patrol agents in South Texas, we watched as several groups were apprehended in a matter of hours. One included a family with small children.
Caminando? No, en un raft. There's 5 here with 2 children. All of them are from Mexico. There's a good chance that this group right here will quickly get processed and will be back in Mexico by the end of the day.
Since 2020, DHS has used Title 42 to expel migrants more than 2.7 million times. That accounts for more than half of all Border Patrol apprehensions in the last 3 years. Agents say it will likely be used on all of the migrants we saw on this day.
They'll be back in Mexico within, I'll say, 8 to 10 hours.
And the likelihood of them crossing back in?
Very high.
While Title 42 allows agents to quickly get migrants out of the country, it doesn't come with legal consequences, meaning migrants can make multiple attempts at illegal entry. The policy's expiration date is set for May 11th, and over the last few months, DHS leaders have been quietly rolling out new policies to prepare. But Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz expects another surge of migrants along the border likely to come in the next week.
I have some areas where the capacity is limited, whether it's I don't have enough agents, I don't have enough infrastructure, I don't have enough technology. I have other areas where I think our agents have really locked down the border security situation. Certainly need more Border Patrol agents out here on the front lines. I need to be able to build an enterprise behind them to process the migrants that we encounter each and every day.
The Department of Homeland Security now announcing they will be working with immigration partners in Latin America to open regional processing centers. The first few, expected in Colombia and Guatemala, will pre-screen migrants to help them find legal pathways into the U.S.
This is a hemispheric challenge that demands hemispheric solutions. Working with our neighbors in the region, we can and will reduce the number of migrants who reach our southern border.
The Biden administration is also working with Mexico to expel up to 360,000 Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan migrants annually, targeting those without valid passports, while narrowing legal pathways for others. Immigration advocates blame the U.S. for putting asylum seekers in danger with this policy by keeping them in Mexico, where their safety is not guaranteed.
Todo nos ha tocado rudo en México. No ha sido ni en la selva, que es una cosa de loco como todo el mundo reconoce. No, lo peor es México.
That frustration shared by border communities in Texas that are now bearing the brunt of this immigration battle.
Our main challenges are we need commerce and trade to be moving. And you got all these guys from a lot of other places that know nothing about the border.
Sam Valle grew up along the South Texas border. He owns an international bridge in Rio Grande City and leases it to the federal government. His community thrives on a safe but busy border.
There's billions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of jobs across the United States benefiting from this. What they need is better equipment, better methods to examine things. You don't stop the drugstore because one of the guys in the drugstore is giving away prescriptions. We wouldn't have Walmart then. We wouldn't have CVS and the Walgreens. You're constantly training better, putting more equipment in. The next generation of inspection equipment, they can tell you if you've changed a bolt on the car. I never thought I'd do this. We volunteered to have facial recognition.
Valle worries the border from California to Texas is being used by both sides of the aisle. And as the deadline to get rid of Title 42 creeps closer, uncertainty continues to grow, making it harder for communities like this.
My father was Mexican and my mother was from East Texas. So they joined together, lived a happy life. Why can't we?
Maria Villarreal joins me now. Maria, President Biden has announced that he'll send 1,500 active duty troops to the border for the next 90 days. But what is the White House saying about the role that these troops will play?
You know, so we spoke with Chief Raul Ortiz, and what he's told us is he needs the most help with processing. You know, what we've heard from the White House is that these troops will be in support roles. Agents say they understand this will be things like helping with transportation, maybe some processing, watching cameras, all of the roles that allow agents to be agents out in the field. But these troops will not be allowed to apprehend anybody, arrest anybody, for that matter, detain anyone. So really, it just allows the guys to be out in the field doing their jobs, especially at a critical time like right now.
And from your extensive time reporting on the border, how do you think these communities and border officials are bracing for what may come next when Title 42 does expire?
You know, in the last 3 or 4 months, we've been to a number of border towns, everything from El Paso to Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Laredo, and now Brownsville, the Rio Grande Valley. All of the different border towns and really the leaders, the officials in those towns have told us that they are very concerned about the surge that they're already seeing coming to Mexican border towns. They know that those people are going to start coming over very soon. Some of them have already come over already. We've seen a few of these towns already declare disaster relief, declare state of emergencies. This allows them to get help from state and federal agencies, but really what they're telling their communities is bear with us. We're going to try and deal with this in the most humanitarian way possible, but we do know that our resources will be stretched thin. We have to come together. It will be very difficult for the next few weeks to a month, but hopefully after that we will get the process in order and things moving in a more smoother manner.
Maria, thank you. Now to Texas, a new reporting on the desperate manhunt for a man who allegedly killed 5 of his neighbors, including a 9-year-old boy, after they asked him to stop firing his AR-15 style rifle. Authorities pleading for the public's help, tracking down every lead, saying the suspect could be anywhere. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
With their manhunt now in its 4th day and no leads, tonight authorities pleading for the public's help, finding the man accused of killing 5 neighbors. The FBI Houston office tweeting out, Francisco Oropesa could be anywhere. We're leaving no stone unturned, adding they are, quote, analyzing hundreds of pieces of information.
Here, we're not far from where the shooting took place, and as you can see, this is a very rural, heavily wooded area. It makes the job of authorities looking for Francisco Oropesa that much harder.
That multi-agency search, including Customs and Border Protection, amid concerns that Oropesa, a Mexican national, may have fled to Mexico. Police say Oropesa shot and killed 5 next-door neighbors in the same house, quote, execution style, late Friday night, after they had asked him to stop firing his AR-style weapon for fun because it frightened their baby. At Northside Elementary School, where the youngest victim, Daniel Enrique Lasso, attended the 3rd grade, classmates creating this memorial.
This is their way of thanking him, being part of his life, and honoring him.
And Matt Rivers joins us now. Matt, what are we learning about the coordinated effort between the Mexican and U.S. authorities?
Well, we know that Francisco Oropesa, the suspect in this case, is a Mexican national, and so U.S. authorities quickly reached out to Mexican authorities because we're not that far from the Mexican border. The Foreign Ministry in Mexico confirming to ABC News that they are in touch with the U.S. Marshals and with the FBI, but say they have no information as to whether Oropesa crossed the border into Mexico. Mona?
All right, Matt Rivers, thank you for that update. Next, to the mysterious stabbing spree near the campus of UC Davis in Northern California. 2 people killed, including a student, and a 3rd seriously injured. The FBI is now involved. Will Carr reports.
Tonight, residents in this North California college town on edge after a series of stabbings, 2 of them fatal.
It's shocking, especially having, 2 murders in, 2 or 3 days.
The FBI now assisting Davis police to determine if 3 separate stabbings, all in the past week, are related.
The attacks with knives were particularly brutal and violent.
The latest attack occurring overnight, police responding to a homeless encampment.
We're not getting information that somebody is possibly stabbed.
A woman calling 911, telling authorities she'd been stabbed multiple times through her tent. She was hospitalized in critical condition. On Saturday night, 20-year-old Kareem Abu Najm found in Sycamore Park suffering stab wounds.
We have a medical doctor who found this male subject who was gasping for air and he's bleeding on his entire body.
Kareem, a computer science major at UC Davis, dying from his injuries.
Kareem is gone. We were just doing his funeral arrangements rather than preparing for his graduation party.
That homicide coming on the heels of the death of 50-year-old David Breaux. Breaux, a beloved community member who was homeless, was found stabbed multiple times Thursday morning in the city's Central Park.
Will Carr joins us now from Davis. Will, what's next in this investigation?
Mona, after one of the victims was found on the bench behind me, authorities are now trying to figure out if there's a link between the stabbings and who is responsible. It comes as UC Davis is having their students study virtually tonight to stay as safe as possible. Mona.
Will Carr in Davis, thank you. Turning now to a gruesome discovery on a rural property in Oklahoma where 7 people were found dead. Authorities say they were searching for 2 missing teens and a sex offender when they found the horrific scene. An advisory had been sent out alerting the public that the 2 teens were seen traveling with Jesse McFadden, a registered sex offender. McFadden was scheduled to appear in court Monday for the start of a jury trial on charges of soliciting sexual conduct with a minor and possession of child pornography. Authorities say McFadden, the 2 teens, and 4 others are among the deceased. An officer in the death of Tyree Nichols will not be charged. Preston Hemphill, a white officer seen on body camera footage during Tyree Nichols' traffic stop, will not face any criminal charges in connection with the case after the Shelby County District Attorney says a thorough investigation has been completed. Hemphill was fired from the Memphis Police Department in February for violating multiple department policies during the incident. Now to the dramatic testimony in the sexual assault and defamation case against former President Trump, with 2 witnesses backing up columnist E. Jean Carroll. Testifying, she told them about the alleged rape shortly after it happened. Here's ABC's senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky.
Tonight, E. Jean Carroll called to the stand 2 women to bolster her claim former President Trump raped her in the 1990s. One of them, Jessica Leeds, claims she was also assaulted by Trump.
I would like to express my support for E. Jean Carroll with her suit against Trump. Her story rings true to me.
Leeds says she met Trump on a flight to New York back in 1979. He was trying to kiss me, Leeds testified. He was trying to pull me towards him. He was grabbing my breasts. It was like he had 40 million hands. They had been seated next to each other on the plane, and Leeds said it was out of the blue. Trump has denied it ever happened, pointing to her looks.
She would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
That was his response to Carroll's allegations, too, denying raping her, saying she's not my type. But in a deposition, when shown an old picture of Carroll, Trump said that's Marla, mistaking her for his ex-wife, Marla Maples. Today, Carroll's friend Lisa Birnbach testified Carroll called her 5 to 7 minutes after the alleged assault at Bergdorf Goodman, telling the jury, E. Jean said to me many times, he pulled down my tights. He pulled down my tights. Birnbach said she whispered, E. Jean, he raped you. The defense argues Birnbach just hates Donald Trump, quoting her comments from a podcast.
I cannot listen to Donald Trump speak.
But Birnbach testified her only motive is to support her friend, saying, I want the world to know that she was telling the truth.
Aaron Katersky joins me now, and we got word today on whether or not former President Trump will testify in this case. Can you tell us what's the latest there?
He's not going to show up here to testify in his own defense, Mona, and it had always been something of a mystery ever since this trial started. Will he or won't he? His attorney had told the judge repeatedly he didn't know, he wasn't sure, it was going to be a last-minute decision. Well, today in court, the judge asked the lawyers who their remaining witnesses are, and when the defense gave only one name, the judge said, so that means Trump is not coming? And the defense attorney said, correct. So, Mona, Trump does not testify in his own defense, and that probably spares him from what would no doubt be a rigorous cross-examination. Mona?
There you have it, Aaron Katersky. Thank you. The Justice Department, FBI, and international partners have announced today the results of the largest ever operation targeting the trafficking of fentanyl and opioids on the dark web. Called Operation Spectre, authorities have arrested 288 individuals over the past year, and more than 850 kilograms of drugs have been seized with intention to distribute across the dark net. The operation was conducted with partners in the U.S., Europe, and South America. The DOJ included more than 100 investigations and prosecutions within the U.S. Now to Washington, and efforts to raise the debt ceiling to prevent the U.S. going into a devastating default. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has warned that could happen as soon as June 1st. President Biden is now inviting top congressional leaders to the White House next week. ABC News' senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill. Rachel, you're learning that House Democrats are now working on a plan to force a debt ceiling increase over Republican objections. So what's their plan, and does it have a shot?
Well, Mona, this is a long shot indeed. And right now, so much is riding on that meeting between President Biden and congressional leaders, specifically House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. But privately, we know that House Democrats have been working on this plan that would allow them to bypass McCarthy and raise the debt limit without agreeing to any of those federal spending cuts that he is pushing for. Now, this is a procedural move. It would have to be done at the last minute, but it will be an uphill challenge because there is one catch. They would have to get 5 House Republicans on board with this plan, and that right now doesn't appear like that could be happening. If Congress does not act, the consequences here would be dire. Troops could go unpaid. We could see interest rates spike. Nearly 50 million seniors would not get Social Security checks, but the U.S. has never defaulted on its debt, and right now neither side is giving an inch, Mona.
Rachel Scott, thank you. Now to the economy, where a day after the takeover of First Republic Bank was supposed to raise hopes that the banking crisis was over, regional bank stocks took a massive hit today. PacWest Bank shares fell more than 27.8%, and Western Alliance Bank fell 15.1%. Bank stocks pulling the markets down, the Dow closing 367 points lower, more than 1%. Also having an impact, expectations that the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates another 0.25% tomorrow. A security scare at Buckingham Palace just 4 days until King Charles's coronation. A man is suspected of tossing shotgun shells onto palace grounds. You can hear authorities conducting a controlled explosion.
King, you are fighting alone, baby, you're not.
What the hell was that? Whoa.
That suspect is in custody tonight. Let's get to ABC's Lama Hassan, who is in London for us. Lama, what do you know?
Yeah, hey, Mona. So as you know, the coronation is set for Saturday, and as you can imagine, security here is very tight at the palace, with royal fans already starting to set up camp. Rehearsals are already underway tonight. You can probably hear them. You can hear the band playing. Now, police say that the man approached the gates here and threw what are believed to be shotgun shells onto the palace grounds. The man was arrested on suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon. Authorities also detonated a bag in his possession just as a precaution. Now, the palace did confirm that neither King Charles nor Queen Camilla were at the palace at the time, and officials say there is no further threat to the public, but as you can imagine, it was a scary moment for sure. Mona.
Lama Hassan, thank you. And we still have much more to get to here on Prime. Coming up, the last of the 4 officers involved in George Floyd's death learns his fate on state charges against him. But next, in our Prime focus, thousands of movie and televisions are off the job, striking in a pay battle with major studios. It's a similar scene to another strike more than a decade ago. We speak with writers and experts about what's different this time and what changes they want to see.
So many of my friends, they're like, oh my God, so you're loaded now. They're like, you made it. I no longer had any money from the Bear. I barely got money from in the first place.
Whenever news breaks.
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. At a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
You know, nobody wants a strike. I don't think anybody wants a strike. But I also think that if a strike is what it takes to get the writers what they need, then I'm absolutely supportive of the strike in that way.
That was acclaimed showrunner Shonda Rhimes speaking on the writer's strike. We'll have more of her interview with her Lindsay Davis later this week at 12:01 a.m. Pacific time. The strike went into effect for thousands of movie and television writers. Talks for a new contract broke down, with writers demanding studios make changes to payments based on the major shifts caused by streaming. The last time the Writers Guild of America authorized a strike was 15 years ago, forcing a shift in programming for 3 months. ABC's Kana Whitworth explores the past and what we could see in the future this time around.
How much money do you need?
It was a historic moment in entertainment history.
I was just watching Conan O'Brien just fill time as all his writers went on strike.
We are back now, but sadly, we do not have our writers with us. I want to make this clear. I support their cause.
The 2007 writers' strike, with an estimated economic impact of over $2 billion, caused late-night shows to go dark. TV shows like Breaking Bad ground to a halt.
In 2007, when the pipeline of episodes finally ran dry, networks really had to get creative, put on more news magazines. There were a lot of game shows. There were a lot of reruns.
CBS experimented with airing reruns of premium channel Showtime's hit show Dexter.
They even went so far as to bring a special wintertime edition of Big Brother.
What one of them doesn't know is that there's an unexpected wrinkle awaiting her.
Hollywood has shut down again over a strikingly similar issue, making a livable wage in the age of streaming.
I support my writers, but we have a lot of staff and crew that will be affected by this, but they got to get a fair deal.
A lot of times people are living paycheck to paycheck, writers and actors, some directors. You only get money when you're working.
More than 15 years later, similar scenes of thousands walking off the job from LA to New York to Georgia as the 3-year contract between the Writers Guild of America and major studios expires. A new generation of writers fed up, saying the system is broken.
So many of us are barely making a living. We are barely making our groceries, our rent.
WGA union member Alex O'Keefe is a 28-year-old just a few years into the business, but already doing big things in Hollywood. Nominated for 2 WGA awards last month as staff writer for Hulu's FX show, The Bear.
34 chickens, okay? 12 French fries, 12 mash.
But he says this smiling photo hid the true pain of reaching his dream to work in the writer's room.
So many of my friends, they're like, oh my God, so you're loaded now. They're like, you made it. I no longer had any money from The Bear. I barely got money in the first place. So I had to go to my friends and my family and say, I have to go accept this award. I can't accept it in a hoodie. I need some money to buy a suit.
And while he never had to go through the events of 2007, he's part of the more than 97% of writers who just weeks ago voted in favor of a strike, which could impact nearly 11,000 union members. 15 years ago, we didn't have those streaming giants like Netflix. Now members like Alex argue it's those companies who are making it nearly impossible to live a middle-class life.
They're going to count on our suffering breaking us and our suffering forcing us to take a bad deal. There's some things that maybe I'm saying that it could rub some powerful people the wrong way. But if we don't take a stand, we will never gain anything.
The union wants higher minimum pay per episode and increased guaranteed residuals, especially for episodes made for the streaming giants.
A super successful show like Wednesday versus a show on the same platform that's not so successful, the residual is actually the same. In addition, series have gotten dramatically shorter, and that means there's less work. Writers are hired by the series, but they're paid by the episode. So when you've got more people sharing a pie that in some ways is smaller, that is part of what's created the issue today.
The union is also seeking a limit on the use of AI, like ChatGPT, to generate scripts in seconds. Union members also take issue with what's being called mini room as a way to cheapen creating a show.
They'll have 2 or 3 writers work with the showrunner to develop a first script, but they'll also try to write, 2, 3, maybe even 4 more scripts. If the show is ordered and it's 6 episodes, they may not be hired to work on the show anymore because the showrunner already has a ton of material.
The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers telling ABC News in part, our goal is and continues to be to reach a fair and reasonable agreement, adding an agreement is only possible if the Guild is committed to turning its focus to serious bargaining by engaging in full discussions of the issues with the companies and searching for reasonable compromises. And there's potential a drawn-out process could actually help the studios get out of pricey contracts with writers.
Certain writers have multi-million or multi-hundred-million-dollar deals with studios and streamers. So the writer's strike would trigger these force majeure provisions if it lasted 6 or 8 weeks. And you'd see the studios smiling at Wall Street and saying, look, we're saving money, we're shedding some of these deals.
And if this does, in fact, drag out, with the streaming giants releasing new shows all the time, will people even notice?
We've definitely seen in Hollywood there's been stockpiling to help get them through a potential drought of new episodes.
While Alex prepares to look for new work outside of writing, he says this ordeal is worth it, recalling how the WGA union's health insurance came to his aid when right before that awards show, he chipped his tooth.
I flashed this huge smile. Looking out, it was all my peers. And I thought I really wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have this smile without the Guild. This union has my back. That's why I have this union's back.
Our thanks to Kana Whitworth. For more on this, I'm joined by New Yorker staff writer Michael Schulman, who reported on the lead up to the strike in his recent piece, Why Are TV Writers So Miserable? He's also the author of Oscar Wars, A History of Hollywood in Gold, Sweat, and Tears. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. At midnight last night, the WGA went on strike following that near 100% vote to strike a few weeks ago. It sounds like the writers and the studios are quite far apart. Can you give us a sense of what led to this moment?
Yes. TV as a medium has been completely revolutionized by streaming, and a lot of the changes in the past couple of years have really disrupted the ability of television writers to make a solid middle-class living. If you watch TV on, say, Netflix or HBO Max or something like that, you'll notice that there are shorter seasons. So writers aren't getting jobs that are sustained for as long of a time. The residuals model, where you used to get paid a passive income through syndication or DVD sales, stuff like that, is completely out the window. And all of this has come together to create a huge financial strain on television writers.
We know money is at the center of negotiations here, but how much does the concern over AI play into this as well?
Yeah, that's been an interesting point of contention between the Writers Guild and the producers. The Writers Guild has asked for some kind of regulation, some guardrails on the use of AI to write scripts or edit scripts, create first drafts for writers to then rewrite. And according to the Guild, they have asked for measures to be written into their new contract about the use of AI, and the producers have said no.
And Michael, we hear that Abbott Elementary was supposed to be one of the writers' rooms that was supposed to be starting work on its next season today, but instead they're out there picketing. What will be the ripple effects for viewers across the country?
The most immediate effects will be on shows like late night comedy shows, Saturday Night Live, shows with rapid turnaround from writing to air. But it really, after that, depends on how long the strike lasts. At a certain point, there's going to be a dip in new scripted shows coming out, dramas, comedies. If it goes on long enough, it could actually affect the movie release schedule.
The last time there was a strike, it was about 15 years ago. The studios looked very different than they do now. Now it's not just movie studios, but tech giants like Apple and Amazon that are also producing films and shows. So how much does that impact negotiations?
Incredibly. I mean, in a sense, you have the tech industry coming into the entertainment industry and swallowing it alive. I had one writer in TV tell me that, when Netflix came on the scene, everyone said, oh, they're going to drive the car over the cliff. But then everyone got in the car. In other words, Netflix has created a new model of streaming TV that has disrupted the old cable and network model. And with that came all sorts of changes in terms of how shows are distributed and watched. And that trickles down to how much writers are paid. And I have to say, money is important here, but from the writers I've talked to, there are other things as well. I mean, people are not getting the experience that they need. There used to be a very clear kind of ladder to go from being a staff writer on a show to a showrunner. And now studios are not paying for writers to prep their own episodes, be on set. People aren't getting the experience that they used to have to prepare them to be a showrunner, to rise the ranks.
Yeah, it's a pivotal moment for writers. But I do have one last question before I let you go. How long do you think that this will go on? Are we talking a few days, weeks, or the entire summer?
It could easily be the entire summer. I mean, the last strike lasted 100 days in 2007 to 2008. Before that, there was one in 1988 that lasted a little bit longer. So it could very well easily stretch into the fall. And the longer it goes on, the more ramifications it has for production schedules and for viewers.
We will have to wait and see. Michael Schulman of The New Yorker, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
And we still have much more to get to. Coming up, the tense moments as the Coast Guard tried to rescue 2 people and a dog from a sinking boat. From the stage to the White House and Capitol Hill for an issue that's impacting 100 million Americans. The cause rapper Fat Joe is now fighting for. But next, it's Teacher Appreciation Day, but some teachers aren't feeling the love. We take a closer look at some of the major concerns being raised by the numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
on the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the Capitol.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
A sexualized child model.
Exploitation. What happened to her isn't really about her, it's just about women.
I let myself be vulnerable, and this is the first time I've ever spoken about what happened. I thought my one no should have been enough.
When someone like Brooke Shields talks about it, it makes a difference.
I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial breaks.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby. It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Almond Mom is a little bit bought into diet culture, but it tends to veer on the side of overdoing it. Had to hit spin class, I had to earn this food.
To be in a restrictive mode with food is almost like the worst joke ever.
Food should not be good or bad.
Every soul's body is important, no matter what size it is.
Where body positivity has the potential to become detrimental is the, nah, girl, you're good.
Impact by Night.
You're invited to a front row seat to history, the coronation of King Charles. Starting at 5 a.m. Eastern, ABC News Live right there and all across the day for you. From Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey, the royal ceremonies, the celebrations, the family, and oh yes, the fashion. The coronation of King Charles. Special coverage starts at 5 a.m. Eastern Saturday and streaming all day on ABC News Live.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. It's Teacher Appreciation Day today, and recently legislation has been proposed to institute a standard base pay for teachers nationwide. So let's take a look by the numbers. A recent report found the average starting salary for a teacher is just $42,000 per year, a decline by 6.4% when adjusted for inflation over the last decade. According to one study, 44% of public school teachers quit the profession within 5 years due to higher levels of anxiety, stress, and burnout versus other workers. Only 5 states and Washington, D.C. pay an average starting salary above $50,000 per year. In Arkansas, $50,000 per year is the new minimum salary for public and charter school teachers after a recent law was signed by the governor there. That's an increase of $14,000 per year. Senator Bernie Sanders also proposed legislation that would raise public school teacher salaries nationwide to $60,000 or higher. There are approximately 3.7 million teachers in public and private elementary and secondary schools in the United States, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. Be sure to let those teachers know how much we all appreciate them. And much more ahead here on Prime, a rare admission from a top boarding school after a student dies by suicide, the changes it's now promising to make, and the tributes pouring in for a legendary musician.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital. Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
Almond Mom is a little bit bought into diet culture, but it tends to veer on the side of overdoing it. I had to hit spin class, I had to earn this food.
To be in a restrictive mode with food is almost like the worst joke ever.
Food should not be good or bad.
Every soul's body is important, no matter what size it is.
Where body positivity has the potential to become detrimental is the nah girl, you're good.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts and watch Boston Strangler starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu. ABC News Live, Saturday morning. You're invited to a front row seat to history. The coronation of King Charles. Starting at 5 a.m. Eastern. ABC News Live, right there and all across the day for you. From Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey. The royal ceremonies, the celebrations, the family, and oh yes, the fashion. The coronation of King Charles. Special coverage starts at 5 a.m. Eastern Saturday and streaming all day on ABC News Live.
Another former officer is convicted in the death of George Floyd. A desperate rescue as 2 people and a dog are trapped on a sinking boat. And the nominees are announced for Broadway's biggest night. These stories and more in tonight's rundown.
Former Minneapolis police officer Tu Thao found guilty of aiding in George Floyd's death, which happened 3 years ago this month. Thao is the last of the 4 officers involved to be declared guilty at the state level. Thao claimed he was on crowd control when Floyd was killed and never actually touched him, but prosecutors argued that Thao had almost 9 years of experience and should have known Floyd needed medical help. Thao is already serving a 3.5-year sentence on federal charges. He'll be sentenced on the state charges in August and could get another 3 to 5 years. A Colorado Sheriff's Department has been sued by the family of an unarmed man who was allegedly tased in November. Attorneys say Las Animas County Sheriff's deputies tased Kenneth Espinoza 35 times in the face and body. Police claim he was tased once. The incident allegedly began when Kenneth's son, Nathaniel, was pulled over at a traffic stop. The lawsuit says Kenneth was driving behind his son and circled the block before parking a short distance away to wait for him. Deputies allegedly ordered Kenneth to leave the scene, with the situation escalating after that.
To watch my father almost lose his life to these men, time stopped.
The deputies involved are on administrative leave.
Former Las Vegas Raiders receiver Henry Ruggs III will plead guilty in a 2021 incident where he allegedly struck and killed a woman while driving drunk. According to a plea agreement, Ruggs will plead guilty to 1 count of DUI resulting in death and 1 count of misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter. He will serve 3 to 10 years in Nevada State Prison. Police said Ruggs had reached speeds of 156 miles per hour on November 2nd, 2021, when his vehicle hit that of Tina Tinter, who died from the crash. Ruggs played 2 seasons for the Raiders after being drafted in the first round and was released shortly after the crash. He is expected to formally make the plea in a hearing next week. Coast Guard officials rescued 2 people and a dog near St. Catharines Sound in Georgia. The survivors were on a catamaran that was taking on water before they were rescued by helicopter Monday. The catamaran eventually sank. Officials said they were able to find the survivors based on an alert from their personal locator beacon. The Coast Guard said the 2 people and the dog, Reggie, were in good spirits. Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Lightfoot passed away. His publicist said Lightfoot died on Monday in Toronto of natural causes. Lightfoot emerged in the 1960s and 1970s and became known for a series of hits, including If You Can Read My Mind.
And I will never be set free as long as I'm a ghost you can't see.
And The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down to the big lake they call Gitche Gumee.
Lightfoot was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 1986. He was 84 years old.
Nominations for the 2023 Tony Awards have been announced. Some Like It Hot, the musical adaptation of the 1959 film, led the way with 13 nominations, including Best Musical and nods for its performances, writing, and music. It will compete with musicals including & Juliet, Shucked, and New York, New York, which received 9 nominations apiece. Among plays, A Dollhouse, Leopold Stoat, and Ain't No Mo each scored 6 nominations. The winners will be announced in New York City on June 11th.
Tonight, a judge has rejected a transgender Montana lawmaker's bid to return to the Montana House floor. A district court judge said it was outside his authority to overrule the legislature and return Zoe Zephyr to the floor. Zephyr was banned from the floor last week after Republican lawmakers say Zephyr incurred a raucous state house in opposition to new restrictions on gender-affirming care for minors. Zephyr called the judge's decision, quote, entirely wrong. Now to a rare admission of failure from a top boarding school. 1 year after 17-year-old high school junior Jack Reed died by suicide in a statement that was required as part of the settlement deal with Jack's parents. The school posting on its website that it was aware of bullying and cruel behavior which led him to take his life. The school is now promising to make changes. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
It's a stunning admission. An elite New Jersey boarding school acknowledging it failed to protect one of its students from bullying. The school accepting responsibility after the student's suicide, saying it fell tragically short in Jack's case. The Lawrenceville school, which touts its tight-knit community online, now settling with the family of Jack Reed. The 17-year-old took his life in April 2022, the school admitting that bullying and unkind behavior and actions taken or not taken by the school likely contributed to Jack's death. In the spring of 2021, an untrue rumor spread across campus that he had committed sexual assault by kissing a girl. Then, in September of 2021, a false claim that he was a rapist was posted anonymously to a nationwide student app.
Bullying has extraordinary impact on kids. It really doesn't benefit anyone. One of the evolving, most significant risk factors for youth in America is the internet and social media.
The school investigating the rumors, finding them false, but never publicly sharing the results or telling Jack. Then, on April 30th, 2022, when a student who was disciplined for bullying him was expelled for something else, the school admitting they allowed that student to return largely unsupervised to the dorm where Jack stayed. Students there bullying Jack again. He took his life that night. The school now promising to create policies around spotting and stopping bullying and agreeing to contribute to multiple nonprofits focused on bullying and suicide prevention.
Our thanks to Eva Pilgrim. And finally tonight, award-winning rapper Fat Joe is leaning into an issue facing millions of Americans, the high cost of health care. Faith Abube was there for his trip to Capitol Hill, where he's hoping to use his star power to try to enact real change.
If there's one thing rap superstar Fat Joe knows how to do, it's entertaining the masses. And tonight, it's a party with a purpose.
I'm excited about tonight, man.
The award-winning rapper bringing a few hundred friends together to cap off what's been a whirlwind visit to the nation's capital.
What brings you to D.C.? Well, I'm out here fighting for the American people.
For 2 days, we tagged along as the 52-year-old, born Joseph Cartagena, marched on Capitol Hill, walked the halls of Congress.
So much history in this hall.
And held numerous meetings with lawmakers on both sides of the political aisle.
This is a bipartisan issue.
Calling for transparency in hospital billing.
And we say it often, but you just laid it out.
The rapper even making it to the White House.
I look at myself as an evangelist, spreading the word, the gospel of how important it is to show us the prices, because this isn't an issue that it affects all Americans. This is colorblind, this is religion blind, and I believe in the power of the people. When the people come together, they got to listen.
Fat Joe has been a loud advocate for transparency in hospital billing since since a longtime friend who runs the nonprofit Power to the Patients tapped him to be a spokesperson a year ago. This is his second visit to the Capitol on the issue.
Why use your voice and your platform for this particular cause?
Because there's 100 million Americans that are in medical debt. I grew up in the South Bronx. I grew up in a very deprived, poor area. When I was down, my people fought for me and championed me to get to the level where I'm at. So I have an obligation to speak for the voiceless so that therefore we can have competition in the hospitals and they can bring the prices down for your average American.
Fat Joe even bringing along other hip-hop favorites, Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, and French Montana to help raise awareness.
Not only is he leading the charge of something incredible and great and powerful, but it's principally correct.
You should know right there, as soon as you walk into the hospital, if you're gonna have to sell your home to stay alive.
We don't want to go and get blindsided no more, so we're here to support the cause.
According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 1 in 10 American adults owes medical debt. And the National Institutes of Health says exorbitant medical bills accounted for about 40% of personal bankruptcies in 2019. But even as healthcare costs continue to rise, advocates say hospitals have been reluctant to comply with the Trump-era federal rule requiring hospitals to list the cost of standard procedures. Members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus standing with Fat Joe at the Capitol, calling for change.
Families deserve to have peace of mind knowing how much their health procedure will cost them ahead of time.
The federal agency tasked with enforcing the rule has imposed fines on 4 hospitals since former President Trump signed the Healthcare Pricing Transparency Executive Order in June 2019. As of last month, CMS has also issued 730 warnings to hospitals not in compliance. But Power to the Patients research arm says its detailed analysis found that more than 70% of U.S. hospitals reviewed are still not in full compliance. The American Hospital Association telling Congress the pandemic impacted rollout.
Despite its complexity and lack of clarity, hospitals are eager to continue their compliance efforts.
Fat Joe's lobbying efforts on Capitol Hill coinciding with the landmark hearing in the House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee on Health.
We're considering bipartisan legislation to codify existing price transparency rules for hospitals and insurers.
A bipartisan push to strengthen enforcement. Fat Joe tells me the bill is one of many positive signs that this 2-day trip to the Hill may actually help bring about change.
Last year I came, it was just one gentleman who came to meet us. Today was about 25, 30 different congressmen and senators. And so I feel the momentum.
And that's our show. Our thanks to Faith Abube and Mona Kosar Abdi. Stay tuned for ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks for streaming with us. And coming up in the next hour, another fight breaks out on an airplane when a man punched a flight attendant, then made a break for the emergency exit. And a shooting at a TV station in Memphis. We'll tell you what happened to the suspect.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7 straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right. They don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Almond Mom is a little bit bought into diet culture, but it tends to veer on the side of overdoing it. Had to hit spin class, I had to earn this food.
To be in a restrictive mode with food is almost like the worst joke ever.
Food should not be good or bad.
Every soul's body is important, no matter what size it is.
Where body positivity has the potential to become detrimental is the nah girl, you're good.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
I'm Mona Kosar-Abdi in for Lindsay Davis. Thank you for streaming with us. We are monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour. Attorney General Merrick Garland announcing the largest takedown of online drug trafficking in history. The U.S. and European law enforcement operation confiscating more than $53 million and making more than 300 arrests across 3 continents. The crackdown targeting the sale of fentanyl and other opioids on the so-called dark web. Most of the arrests were here in the U.S., where fentanyl use is a crisis. In Memphis, police arrested a suspect after shooting into a TV station there. Authorities say the alleged gunman, armed with a rifle, fired a single shot through the security doors of the Fox affiliate. Police and ATF swarmed the scene as the suspect barricaded himself inside a nearby restaurant. He was arrested a short time later. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Tonight, a judge has rejected a transgender Montana lawmaker's bid to return to the Montana House floor. A district court judge said it was outside his authority to rule the legislature and return of Zoe Zephyr to the floor. Zephyr was banned from the floor last week after Republican lawmakers say Zephyr led a raucous state house in opposition to new restrictions on gender-affirming care for minors. Zephyr called the judge's decision, quote, entirely wrong. Next to those major developments at the U.S.-Mexico border, President Biden has ordered 1,500 active duty troops to report to the southern border. This comes as a pandemic-era law the government has used to automatically expel undocumented migrants is set to expire next week. Maria Villarreal reports.
Tonight, with President Biden set to send active troops to the border, this is the scene we witnessed there. Waves of migrants surging across the Rio Grande River into the U.S. We are there with Border Patrol before dawn.
There's 5 here with 2 children. All of them are from Mexico. There's a good chance that this group right here will quickly get processed and will be back in Mexico by the end of the day.
Border Patrol agents are now bracing for the number to soar as more migrants try to cross into the U.S. when Trump-era COVID restrictions, known as Title 42, end next week. Those restrictions allowed the U.S. to send migrants back because of COVID concerns. Chief Raul Ortiz telling us with Title 42 expiring, he needs more help on the front lines.
I don't have enough agents. I don't have enough infrastructure. I don't have enough technology. I have other areas where I think our agents have really locked down the border security situation.
Tonight, President Biden announcing he will send 1,500 active duty troops to the border for the next 90 days. But the White House making it clear they will not have a law enforcement role.
These personnel will be performing administrative tasks like data entry and warehouse support. They will not be performing law enforcement functions or interacting with immigrants or migrants.
In a recent U.S. deal with Mexico, the country agreed to annually accept up to 360,000 Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan migrants who cross into the U.S. without a valid passport. But Mexico will not take them all, and the Biden administration is allowing some migrants from south of the border to apply while in their home countries for temporary legal status before getting here. And tonight, as our team has witnessed, border towns are already strained. El Paso declaring a state of emergency. 1,350 migrants are arriving every day, and that's before Title 42 expires. The U.S. will no longer turn back migrants, citing COVID concerns.
Sí, muchísima gente.
This young woman who came to the U.S. saying there are many more coming, trying to escape violence and economic collapse back home.
Maria Villarreal, thank you. And let's bring in ABC's chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Mary, bottom line, this White House knows what is likely coming with Title 42 expiring, and they aren't the first administration to send active duty troops to the border.
Yeah, Mona, they certainly are not. Presidents from George W. Bush to Obama to Trump have all sent troops to the border for very different reasons. But officials here that I have talked to tonight stress and insist this is not some show of force. They are adamant that these troops are not going to be there in a law enforcement capacity. They will be there to assist and perform these administrative tasks. And this is just one of several new steps the administration has announced as they brace for this, including surging asylum officers and immigration judges to the border, while also cracking down on migrants who try to cross into the U.S. illegally. The bottom line here tonight is that the Biden administration is trying to get ahead of this impending surge and ahead of the political firestorm that they know is likely coming. Mona.
All right, Mary Bruce at the White House. Thank you. Now to the Hollywood strike, the first in 15 years. More than 11,000 members of the Writers Guild have walked off the job. Late-night talk shows have already shut down. One of the top issues is the impact of streaming and AI. Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman reports from Los Angeles.
Tonight, it's pencils down and placards up for the 11,000-plus members of the Writers Guild. Writers from L.A.
They have the money. We just want a little bit.
To New York City, declaring a strike overnight over shrinking wages in a media landscape unrecognizable from the last time they waged the strike 15 years ago.
The writers tell us that they're willing to go as long as necessary in order to make their voices heard.
Jimmy Kimmel! Late-night TV, the first to feel the squeeze, shows like Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Unless something terrible happens, we've got a good week of shows.
Going to reruns tonight.
It's Saturday night!
Saturday Night Live might not be this weekend. The Late Show's Seth Meyers addressing the strike.
What the writers are asking for is not unreasonable.
Over the last decade, median weekly writer-producer pay is down 23% when adjusted for inflation.
They're not seeing any of the residuals that you used to see back in the old days. With the streamers, it's an upfront payout and you're done.
The union is looking for more pay up front, higher minimum pay, and more writers per show, and wants to regulate the use of artificial intelligence amid fears it may threaten writers' jobs. Now, longer-term shows like Abbott Elementary, which was to start writing its third season today, might be delayed.
She's probably on her way back to Abbott. I hope that we're able to rectify this, whatever that means.
Our thanks to Matt Gutman. And now to Texas, and new reporting on the desperate manhunt for a man who allegedly killed 5 of his neighbors, including a 9-year-old boy, after they asked him to stop firing his AR-15 style rifle. Authorities pleading for the public's help, tracking down every lead, saying the suspect could be anywhere. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
With their manhunt now at its 4th day and no leads, tonight authorities pleading for the public's help, finding the man accused of killing 5 neighbors. The FBI Houston office tweeting out, Francisco Oropesa could be anywhere. We're leaving no stone unturned, adding they are, quote, analyzing hundreds of pieces of information.
Here, we're not far from where the shooting took place, and as you can see, this is a very rural, heavily wooded area. It makes the job of authorities looking for Francisco Oropesa that much harder.
That multi-agency search, including Customs and Border Protection, amid concerns that Oropesa, a Mexican national, may have fled to Mexico. Police say Oropesa shot and killed 5 next-door neighbors in the same house, quote, execution style, late Friday night, after they had asked him to stop firing his AR-style weapon for fun because it frightened their baby. At Northside Elementary School, where the youngest victim, Daniel Enrique Lasso, attended the 3rd grade, classmates creating this memorial.
This is their way of thanking him, being part of his life, and honoring him.
Our thanks to Matt Rivers. And next to the mysterious stabbing spree near the campus of UC Davis in Northern California, 2 people killed, including a student, and a 3rd seriously injured. The FBI is now involved. Will Carr reports.
Tonight, residents in this North California college town on edge after a series of stabbings, 2 of them fatal.
It's shocking, especially having, 2 murders in, 2 or 3 days.
The FBI now assisting Davis police to determine if 3 separate stabbings, all in the past week, are related.
The attacks with knives were particularly brutal and violent.
The latest attack occurring overnight, police responding to a homeless encampment.
We're not getting information that somebody is possibly stabbed.
A woman calling 911, telling authorities she'd been stabbed multiple times through her tent. She was hospitalized in critical condition. On Saturday night, 20-year-old Kareem Abu Najm found in Sycamore Park suffering stab wounds.
We have a medical doctor who found this male subject who was gasping for air and he's bleeding on his entire body.
Kareem, a computer science major at UC Davis, dying from his injuries.
Kareem is gone. We were just, doing his funeral arrangements rather than preparing for his graduation party.
That homicide coming on the heels of the death of 50-year-old David Bro. Bro, a beloved community member who was homeless, was found stabbed multiple times Thursday morning in the city's Central Park.
And now to the latest scare in the air. Another fight breaking out on an airplane when a man punched a flight attendant, then made a break for the emergency exit.
Oh my God!
This is the moment an angry passenger attacked a United Airlines staff member, all in an alleged dispute over his seat assignment.
Just kept explaining, sir, doesn't look like your wife is assigned here. Could we please, escort her to her correct seat? And he was just no, we insist, this is what we were assigned to.
Naya Jimenez says when she boarded her flight home to Houston Monday shortly after midnight, she found a couple blocking her seat. And when she asked flight attendants for help, the conflict quickly escalated.
We're done. I need you off this aircraft. Nope, we're not going to be on the flight. Out right now, please.
After refusing to move to his assigned seat in first class, fists started flying in the economy cabin.
He starts fighting. He throws one punch, I believe, lands it. And then at that point, we all just sprang into action.
Passengers and employees briefly restrain the man before he steps away.
We're not doing that tonight. No, we are not.
Naya says that's when he made a break for the emergency exit and seemed ready to make the jump.
Opened the emergency exit, was about to jump down, and the plane is elevated, right? So he would have flown apparently 2 stories to the ground, and everybody pulled him back to safety.
The couple eventually left the plane voluntarily, but United says they immediately reported the incident to law enforcement, though San Francisco police have not yet confirmed whether anyone was charged or detained. Now to Washington and efforts to raise the debt ceiling to prevent the U.S. going into a devastating default. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has warned that could happen as soon as June 1st. President Biden is now inviting top congressional leaders to the White House next week. ABC News' senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill. Rachel, you're learning that House Democrats are now working on a plan to force a debt ceiling increase over Republican objections. So what's their plan, and does it have a shot?
Well, Mona, this is a long shot indeed. And right now, so much is riding on that meeting between President Biden and congressional leaders, specifically House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. But privately, we know that House Democrats have been working on this plan that would allow them to bypass McCarthy and raise the debt limit without agreeing to any of those federal spending cuts that he is pushing for. Now, this is a procedural move. It would have to be done at the last minute, but it will be an uphill challenge because there is one catch. They would have to get 5 House Republicans on board with this plan, and that right now doesn't appear like that could be happening. If Congress does not act, the consequences here would be dire. Troops could go unpaid. We could see interest rates spike. Nearly 50 million seniors would not get Social Security checks, but the U.S. has never defaulted on its debt, and right now neither side is giving an inch, Mona.
Rachel Scott, thank you. And we still have much more to get to coming up. It's a tale told to children at bedtime for generations, but now it's getting a new twist, how acclaimed composer Andrew Lloyd Webber is reimagining Cinderella. But next, more clashes between Israel and Palestinian militants, the high-profile death raising tensions in the area.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on. If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place that's spectacular as well. Me. I think we might know a place, right, guys? Bring your friends. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom. Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Reporting from Manhattan, I'm Diane Macedo. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
We're tracking several headlines around the world. To Israel, where military officials say more than 70 rockets have been fired by Palestinian militants from Gaza into Israel, following the death of a high-profile Palestinian prisoner in Israeli custody after a nearly 3-month-long hunger strike. The Israeli military saying they have begun airstrikes on targets in Gaza, raising fears of an ongoing conflict in the region. An American climber has tragically died on Mount Everest. The 69-year-old climber became sick while attempting to scale the world's tallest peak. He was climbing with a group at about 21,000 feet when he reportedly died at camp. He's the fourth climber to die on Everest this year. And it's party time in Wrexham, the Welsh soccer team that has captured the hearts of millions around the world and also is a subject of the FX series Welcome to Wrexham. Celebrated their first promotion in 15 years to the English Football League. Owners Ryan Reynolds and celebrated in the open-air bus with the team to celebrate with the thousands of fans that came out to honor the team. It is a pillar of popular culture, a fairy tale told and retold for generations. So what happens when one of the world's most famous composers reimagines Cinderella for a new audience? Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
The dream that you wish will come true. Cinderella is the snarky name that they call me.
She's the modern version of a classic princess, Bad Cinderella, from the legendary composer Andrew Lloyd Webber, the man behind hits like Phantom of the Opera and Cats. Bad Cinderella is pushing boundaries on Broadway and telling a time-honored story with flair.
Call me Bad Cinderella as I kiss you goodbye.
It's like taking a classic Cinderella story and twisting it a little bit. How important do you think that is, especially now?
It's very important, being more inclusive. Anybody that comes and sees our show, hopefully, I hope, can see themselves represented on stage.
Fairy tales are not to be believed.
Lanaidi Henao plays the title role with a sharp stage presence and powerhouse vocals.
On my own.
In only her third professional role on stage, the 31-year-old's Broadway career is a surprise second act, even for her.
You've had such a journey, so take us back. Where was Lanaidi 10 years ago?
Lanaidi 10 years ago graduated from college with a business degree, pursuing a career in finance and business. And I wasn't pursuing musical theater professionally. I joined community choirs and did community theater, but I was working at a bank here in the city.
Was there still that little bit of hope that you could actually have a career in the arts, even though you were doing the businesswoman thing?
Oh, absolutely. And it was because of In the Heights. I heard the first few lyrics. Dominican Republic, I love it. Dominican Republic, I love it, Jesus, I'm jealous of it. And I was like, hold on, what? And I was like, wow, there's a place for me. I finally see myself represented on stage. And that's when I knew that I could finally do it.
Auditioning for musicals in between her finance 9 to 5, a leap of faith.
I asked my boss for the day off so I can go to the audition. I took a selfie on my iPhone 4 and printed it at Walgreens. That was my headshot. I didn't have a professional headshot. So I went to the open call, and with high school theater experience, I made my Broadway debut.
That 2015 debut in the ensemble for On Your Feet, a musical about Latin singer Gloria Estefan. She eventually played Gloria herself when the show opened at New Jersey's Paper Mill Playhouse.
8, 9, 10, 11, I'm just gonna keep on counting.
Then in 2022, Bad Cinderella came calling.
I got an email from my agents with an audition for Bad Cinderella. And I said, oh, Cinderella, Andrew Lloyd Webber, oh, okay. So I went to the audition, it felt great. I, sang the songs and all the material that they provided, and then got a call back. And another callback, and another. The last audition, I was the last person there. I had already sobbed in the chair singing one of the ballads, and they're like, we need to see you again. I'm like, I can't, I have nothing left. That's when I go in the room, and Andrew Lloyd Webber asks me to be his Cinderella.
We would not be his Cinderella.
That just gave me goosebumps. That's incredible.
It's still very much overwhelming if I sit down and think about it all at once.
There was a post on Instagram that you posted about 120 of your family and friends were out here to see you. What was that like to have tantos Latinos in the Imperial Theater?
Oh, it was so overwhelming. Like, just to have my two grandmas here, to see their granddaughter lead a Broadway show and to play La Cenicienta, like they call me now, La Cenicienta Henao. It meant everything to me.
Before her opening night, Cinderella showed us her dress for the ball, AKA the red carpet.
Muchísimas gracias.
You knew one day it could happen, and it happened.
Yeah.
And you are repping Dominican Republic right now. You're wearing Oscar de la Renta for the red carpet, but everything is Oscar de la Renta. Right?
Except the shoes.
Except the shoes. As you go out there on the red carpet to talk to folks about this amazing show that you are the lead in, what goes through your mind?
Just gratitude and just the immense responsibility I have as a Latina princess.
But on the way downstairs, Lanaidi and her castmates staging an impromptu photo shoot. No curfew for this Bad Cinderella, with high hopes for what comes next.
What comes after this?
I just want to remember this experience and these feelings for the rest of my life. I just hope to continue living my dream, creating new art, inspiring people and just being a part of this community.
Such an inspirational story from our Stephanie Ramos. And still to come, the coronation of King Charles is just days away. How the new king is already cultivating a legacy of environmentalism.
Almond Mom is a little bit bought into diet culture, but it tends to veer on the side of overdoing it.
I had to hit spin class, I had to earn this food.
To be in a restrictive mode with food is almost like the worst joke ever.
Food should not be good or bad.
Every soul's body is important, no matter what size it is.
Where body positivity has the potential to become detrimental is the, nah girl, you're good.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu. With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yeah.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
It's official. Philadelphia 76er Joel Embiid has won the NBA's Most Valuable Player award. The NBA made the announcement earlier tonight. For a second straight year, Embiid led the NBA in scoring. It is his first MVP award. The previous 2 seasons, Embiid had finished second to Denver's Nikola Jokic. The Sixers are currently in the NBA playoffs, but Embiid himself is recovering from a knee injury and hopes to return later this series against the Sixers' bitter rival, the Boston Celtics. And we are just 4 days away from the coronation of King Charles III, and ABC News is in the town that King Charles helped build and design that focuses on affordable homes and sustainability. Our James Longman has the story.
Traditional architecture, walkable streets, charming shops alongside affordable homes. These are some of the principles behind King Charles's vision for Britain, which came to life here in Poundbury, an idyllic town with a sustainable focus just a few hours west of London and a place the monarch helped design. The project began in 1987 when the then Prince of Wales agreed to allow a new town to be built on his land. He worked with European architect and town planner Leon Cryer to design this one-of-a-kind place where old meets new.
The mixture of town and country, lots to do for young families.
Now, Poundbury is home to nearly 5,000 people.
It's just a nice, peaceful place to live.
And more than 250 businesses. Charlotte Jackson's toy shop is ready for the coronation.
This is amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it?
You've got a little newspaper here for children. And on the front, you can see that, King Charles III, Charles Philip, Arthur George, his date of birth, and that is a special coronation edition. What is it about Poundbury that you like so much?
The community, the architecture. It's a really special place. He has now just built this amazing village, and we've all just created great friendships, great community vibe, and it just is a lovely place to live.
Natasha Wallbank opened up her hair salon in Poundbury last month.
And everyone loves to come and visit the town. There's lots to see and do, lots of lovely walks and parks, so it's nice for people to go off after and have a little wander around and go to all the little boutiques around it.
If you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of the King. Poundbury combines King Charles's passion for the environment and architecture, creating a model for other places in the UK to reimagine their way of life in a more sustainable way. And now, with Charles's rise to king, Poundbury and the Duchy of Cornwall, which owns the land around it, are Prince William's responsibility. William follows in both his father and grandfather's footsteps as an environmentalist.
I think William's also keen to adapt, to use the things that he's learned through his own work. I think we'll see some moves to make it his own, but I think he's very mindful of the history and of the continuity that it's important to bring there.
Our thanks to James Longman. And that's our show for tonight. I'm Mona Kosar Abdi. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and, of course, on abcnews.com.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of family.